welcome to the show. I am your host, Dr. Steve, making my way back into the realm of freedom, liberty, politics, and knowing your rights. Thank everybody for tuning in. I am the host of a brand new show called Know Your Rights. And the goal of this show is basically to try and educate the public, the general public, of what your rights are and what you need to do to protect those rights. Many of you will remember me back from going as far back as 2007, where a lot of us were fighting together to try to bring politics back to common sense, supporting people like Congressman Ron Paul. And essentially, as you went into conventions and did what was your constitutional rights to do, what happened? People were shunned. You were bullied. You were threatened. Some conventions, they were literally breaking bones to keep you people from asserting your constitutional rights. So that's essentially what this show is going to be about. And I'm going to start today's particular show on the First Amendment. And I know that some of you are going to say, why are we even talking about the First Amendment? Well, for the same reason that we're going to talk about the Second Amendment, the Fourth, the Fifth, and so on down the line. What did the founders teach us? The founders taught us that if we don't assert our rights and protect our rights, what happens? They get taken away. And what really kind of inspired me to do this show is a gentleman that I'm just going to name for now as Good Citizen. He is the founder of News Now Houston, which I'll put a webpage link description in this video, so you can go and research him yourself. And it takes a lot of courage to do what this guy, and there's many others that do this as well. But I want to focus on Good Citizen because I honestly believe he does it the most effective to create awareness. And I want to be clear here. I support most of you guys there that are doing these First Amendment audits and holding public officials accountable and protecting people's rights. But from what I've seen in some videos, there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. If your goal is to educate the public, then you need to get the public support before you can educate them. If you're looked at as being a jerk or just an instigator, or you're cursing at people for no reason just because you can, I'm one of those big believers in just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should all the time. I hope everybody understands where I'm trying to go here. And again, it's nothing against what you folks are doing. You out there doing it alone is more than what most Americans are doing today. So I applaud your efforts in that manner. All I'm saying is I think that Good Citizen from News Now Houston sets the best example to get the public support behind him to at least listen to what's going on. And so what Good Citizen does is he will go out with his video camera from a public sidewalk, and they'll record all types of government buildings, whether it be a post office or a federal building or the Federal Reserve or the police department or a prison or a jail or a military base, just to get the reaction of how law enforcement and government officials are going to handle what, keep in mind, is a constitutionally protected activity. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. But the First Amendment is put into place for what reason, folks? It's not to defend popular speech, okay? It's to defend unpopular speech, because popular speech never needs to be defended. But in today's age where I'm watching what's going on around the world, it's like everything is offensive to somebody in some way, shape, or form in one way or the other. I made a post about this the other day. about how they were attacking Halloween costumes. And, if you were dressed as an Indian, you were racist against Native Americans. And if you were dressed as a hobo, you were being disingenuous and inconsiderate of homeless people. And, if you dressed up as Bruce Jenner, then, or Caitlyn Jenner, whatever you want to identify the guy, girl, / whatever with, you were being disrespectful to transgender people. And you know what, guys? I got to tell you, you don't have the right not to be offended. If you don't like what somebody says or what somebody's doing, don't listen to them. But you don't have the right to tell me not to express my rights the same way I don't have the right to tell you not to express yours. That's what freedom and liberty is all about. You can find something in everything to offend someone. And in what I wrote, I don't even remember where I wrote it. I'll try to find it and post it on this video. I said, so if I dressed up as a character from The Wizard of Oz, okay, whether I was the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, or Dorothy, okay, I was being disingenuous and inconsiderate of people that have suffered tornadoes, and I'm also being racist against little people or midgets. The absurdity of this is just beyond me. I don't know where our country has gone and how we've strayed this far away from reality. But if it's not starting to scare the hell out of you, it should. Everybody's got a group today. You've got Antifa and Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter and LGBT, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. I'm just one of those people that believe that everybody's matters, everybody's rights matter. I could care less what religion, race, gender you come from. I don't care if you want to identify yourself as a moose, for all I care. That's not my business to judge you. But to put people into groups is what's really kind of caused this whole problem. I've been saying this for a long time, that this whole black versus white, gay versus straight, Muslim versus Christian is put into place for an agenda to keep the people divided. Okay, when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. But when you put people into groups against each other, it keeps us from uniting, and our strength has always been in our numbers. And that's just one of those things, folks, that's why it's so worth protecting everyone's rights to do what they want to do, so long as they're not hurting someone else or someone else's property. Most of you that know me and those that you don't, I've believed this for a very, very long time. I believe in the vision of the founders and what they stood for and what they had to go through to give all of us the rights that we are, by the way, obligated to defend and protect. Whether you served in the military or not, whether you took an oath as a United States citizen, it is your obligation to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Because if you're not going to do it, I guarantee you the government is not on your side trying to do it. As much as they talk about the Constitution this, and this, the Constitution says that, and the Constitution tells you can't do this, they don't abide by any of it. They just do what they want to do in most cases, except for save a few. Like Congressman Ron Paul and Senator Rand Paul and former Congressman Ron Paul and Senator Massey. There are some good people that are still out there. Congressman Justin Amash, I want to mention him as well. But, the thing is we have to protect these things or we're going to lose them. And I'm coming up on the break. I'll be